All right, what's up, hustlers? Welcome to this week's show. We've got my good friend, Mr. David Carpenter.
Let's go.
Newly promoted AO partner. So, David, thanks so much for coming out to Vegas today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
All right, well, we've been working together for a minute now,
Yeah.
but you just took things to a whole nother level. You just got your partner contract. You're one of 7 AO partners.
Yes.
So congrats, man. That's huge.
Thank you. And congrats to you too, man.
Thank you. Thank you. So how do you feel? I mean, it's been a minute since
Yeah.
we don't really get promotions like that regularly.
Yeah.
How does it feel, man?
You know, it feels great. I'm grateful, but I'm not satisfied. And it's been a dream. So the feeling of it is just, it's great. And I wasn't expecting it. It was just one of those things that just happened. I wrote it down every day, spoke it, and believed it. But I was like, I don't know how this is going to play out. And it just happened. I got the call from Dustin, who's my mentor. And, you know, when you start something, and I started 6 years ago, they tell you about this partnership. They tell you what's possible. But, you know, to see it all play out and through the ups and the downs to eventually get there, even though I feel like I'm just getting started, it was a great feeling.
Yeah, it's nice to get that that box checked. Even though, like
Yeah.
you said, it's not the end of the road for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely nice to get that. So, what would you say? I mean, you've been already doing incredible throughout the business that you've built here in the insurance space.
Yeah.
What would you say the partner contract really means to you? Like, what's new now?
What it means is it kind of just, you get some validation that you're on your way, right?
Yeah.
That you're doing things right. When you get that honor to, I mean, I think the partners are just the most incredible minds in business, I would say in the industry and just in life in general. So to be able to rub shoulders and associate with men and women at that caliber is to me the greatest honor, and to lead a company that is people first, that goes and does the right things, and to be able to represent AO just in general because of who they are, I believe is a privilege.
Yeah.
So just in general, I'm more fired up now than I've ever been in my last 6 years.
Yeah, it kind of reignites that spark a bit.
It does.
We all need that from time to time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of people here listening probably don't know a lot about your background. So let's tell people a little bit about where you came from. So what was life like before AO? Where were you? How'd you find out about this? How'd you get started?
So I got started back in 2017 was my code date. Long story short, 2016, worst year of my entire being.
Yeah.
You know, to start the year off, I had a girl leave me for another guy who was making like 70 grand a year. That one hurt. That started the year off. I remember going into credit card debt with just trying, took her to the princess, did the whole thing. I'm like, I'm going to get married to this girl. Next month leaves me. I'm living at home, right? That's another problem with my mom upstairs in a little den. And I just look myself in the mirror, Joe, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Wake up. You got way more in your tank. Let's go. And I was serving tables at a restaurant called Papito's Seafood Kitchen. I'd work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes doubles, just to be in debt and not sometimes even pay my bills.
Wow.
On tough weeks and
Yeah.
months. And I just remember that I got to do something different. So I'm looking for an opportunity. It's funny when you seek, your brain, you shift your focus to okay, I'm done. I'm ready to grow.
Yeah.
Things start popping up. And I got a message that week, ironically, right?
Yeah.
That's really, I believe God sent. And it was a guy that I used to know in the business, my previous business. This guy didn't even get licensed, Joe.
Yeah.
Someone in the pipeline hit me up about AO or about AIO in general. And I was like, sounds too good to be true, but let me go look a little further.
Let's check it out. Yeah.
Let's check it out. And eventually I got into an interview with Eugene. I was still not really fully sold. Love Eugene.
Yeah.
And then I eventually met Dustin Vinnycamp, and I was sold the second I met this guy.
The closer.
The closer, bro.
Yeah.
Just his presence. I was like, this guy's an angel.
Yeah.
He painted the vision, taking over the world, doing right by people. I love what he stood for. I love his family values and just how he conducted himself and how he really genuinely loved what he did.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go all in. Ended up failing my exam not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. At this time, I'm getting in shape. I did a bodybuilding competition, failed at that. Didn't even it wasn't even a final contestant, and failed my exam 4 times. Girlfriend let me, borderline like depressed, but I'm making strides. I'm falling back a lot, but I'm getting up. I
got some things in the works.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I ended up moving out, get a $450 a month apartment in, borderline the hood of Mesa, Arizona. Yeah. I just decided not to give up, man. So I remember, and this is a pivotal shift in my career, but I decided to just, no matter what, I was going to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I booked my exam the 5th time, and it was 4 hours away. And this was 2 weeks before my exam. I'm studying. I remember it was a Saturday. I'm doing nothing fun but just locking in, studying exam effects. It was a Saturday night, and I go there. I have full tables. This is your money night as a server.
Yeah.
And I get a phone call that I have to leave because my brother's in the hospital. So I'm like, oh, well, this is not good. Go down there. They sit me in the room, really dark. I remember it was yesterday. The doctor comes up to me. He's like, I have really bad news. Your brother's not going to make it. And Jeez. I was lost my oldest brother, right? 2 weeks before I'm going to take my exam. Jeez. At this point, I'm seriously depressed. So much. I'm this is not happening to anybody else. Why me?
Yeah.
And I still something in me was you got to go take that exam. So I decided to keep my word on my exam. I told my brother I was going to take it. He was actually helping me study. My goal was to help put him through school and change my mom's life. So I felt obligated as now the only man in my mom's life to be able to take care of her because my dad's in prison at this time. I commit. I drive down there 4 hours away. The night before my exam, Joe, I was held up at gunpoint, almost killed. 2 days before that was my brother's funeral. So I'm thinking, and I'm staying at a friend of a friend's house because I can't afford a hotel. And they ended up getting robbed. That's what happened. And still took my exam the next day. No sleep, 6 hours away, totally running on fumes. I am not even I don't even know how I made it through, but I believe by the just grace of God.
Yeah.
Went there, took my exam, passed it. Bro, so much peace for an all-commissioned sales job that you could scale and all big promises, but it didn't matter, man. I felt that was my first accomplishment that led to some momentum coming in my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredible, dude. And how do you, I know this was a while ago. You were how old at the time?
22.
22 at the time. So, your average, 22-year-old out there, probably when they run into a lot of these challenges, they're not going to keep pushing through. So, what do you think's changed within you that you've been able to push through those challenges?
Number one, I think it's God for sure. I believe in having faith that all things work together for your good. So for me, I really believe that. And regardless of what it looks like, I know the end game is not my reality now. It's where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I convince myself that is my truth and that's my perspective, and that no matter what, I will find a way to win. So that's my mindset towards any adversity that comes in my life. And the bigger the adversity, the bigger the giant, the better the opportunity is on the other side. That means there's more reward. So instead of, Vinny tells me to get excited about challenges.
Yeah.
Because after a challenge is the next level. And after that next level, right, is more prosperity.
Definitely.
So I'm excited. I want more giants. I want more challenges. Bring them on.
That's awesome. And right after you got through that, you got licensed, and that was shortly after when I met you. I remember you're maybe a month or 2 or 3 when we met at the first time you came to a conference.
Yeah, I remember.
I was doing pretty good. I was 3 months or 3 years in or so. So I was having some success, and our mentor, Vena Camp, introduced me to you. I was like, man, this guy's dynamic. He's got a ton of energy.
Thank you.
I was like, he's going to do really well. And then within a year, you were smoking everybody, not just me. That helped me feel better because you weren't just smoking me, you were smoking everybody. But you had such a strong start because you had an incredible amount, I think, of influence is really why you had such a strong start. So what were some of those first steps you took? You were building a new business in a new industry. So what were some of those first steps you took to really get your business off the ground?
Well, at this point, I went through so much crap, so it prepared me to whatever I was going to face in the business. So for me, I was like, there's got to be a reason, man. Like something did not want me to pass. So now I'm just going to go ham.
Yeah.
So I just had this like mindset where we're going to go take over the world. We're going to go change people's lives. Two things made sense to me. The need and the product in the company made complete sense to me. And I knew that it was stable and I was looking for that. The leadership made sense to me that I could follow them. I bought into the vision. So I genuinely, and also the money and the opportunity, compensation really made sense.
Oh, yeah.
So I genuinely did believe in my hardest hearts that I would be doing people a disservice if I did not share that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I was going to the top regardless, and I will take whoever is going with me. I don't know how we're going to get there. I don't know when we're going to get there. I know it's going to be sure as hell hard.
We're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. We're going to freaking win.
Yeah.
So that was that starting point. I started recruiting right away.
Yeah.
I started casting vision right away, Joe. I was like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go do things that have never been done before. So it's really that vision casting, me getting out of my comfort zone. And I was just the type of leader that first year, Joe, where I was just willing to do whatever it took. Comfort was not a thing for me. I think people are so comfortable in doing their routine, but I was just my life was just at that point where I was willing to do whatever. So, I mean, I didn't have a trainer. Like I didn't even see presentations. We barely had some scripts, but it didn't even matter because I was like, I'll figure it out. I'll go into the homes, take freaking 3 or 4 people in my 3rd month. This is the type of person that I am. I'll do whatever it takes to lead you guys to the promised land.
Nice. And, you mentioned you had great leadership. Me and you were 2 of the people that have just been so lucky to work with our mentor, Dustin Vennekamp.
Yes. Shout out to Dustin.
I know. And I just wanted to know, like, from you, what are some of those qualities that Dustin has that you really, really look up to, or some of the reasons why you want to follow him?
Yeah. That's why we get along so well. It's because of who we're raised by. He's like,
same daddy.
Same dad. Facts, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say his heart, number one, over everything, because you really feel his genuineness in the way he runs his business and the way he just bees. His being is like just so pure and just so like, I'm going to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And in a leader that has that's his reality, you feel comfort because you know he's not going to do you wrong. It might not be what you want to hear sometimes. It might be tough, but Vinny like genuinely loves what he does and he loves his people and he's going to do what's best for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's that. His vision casting is unbelievable. He gets you thinking huge.
Yeah.
He's a master communicator. I looked at that. And this is the way that he runs his family.
Yeah.
Like, I was like so impressed with Holly and his kids and the way he conducts he just really shoots after being the best version of himself. And previously before that, Joe, like everyone I saw with money was just blowing it, trying to look rich. He was here humble and he was working on himself constantly to be better for us.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed to see that was even possible, that someone was even doing that I could possibly model myself after and learn from someone like that.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, he's like the only person that has that same quality that like you have when you're near your dad, where you almost feel like when I walk up to Dustin, I feel that like, all right, like tuck in your shirt, watch your language, watch your behavior, you know, like he's got that, just that integrity. And like you said, that genuineness in how he interacts with every person he interacts with.
Yes.
So man, we're really, really lucky to have that.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here without him, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, you got a really strong start. And then, I remember for a period of like 5 years, me and you were sitting there and we had this like flip-flop thing going on where I'd be going through a crazy period of growth and you'd be having a rough couple months. And then you'd break out of it and you'd start crushing it.
Yeah.
And then I'd be slouching down, not doing so well at that point. Yeah. So we both had plenty of times where we've had business challenges or personal challenges that we let turn into business challenges or whatever. So tell me about like some of your biggest challenges that you've had with growing your business?
Where do I start, Joe? We love challenges.
Yeah.
I would say the first one, I went through a pride test. I went through a commitment test. And what I mean by a pride test, and everybody in business goes through this test, by the way,
Yeah.
is when you start to have a little bit of money, you start to feel that you start to edge out the people who really even got you there. You start doing the things that you stop doing the things that got you there. You stop, like, this humbleness kind of leaves you. You feel like you made it, right? So that happened my second year because we went from like 700,000 in sales, 2.6 million my second year. And I felt like I made it. I'm like $50,000 a month, sometimes like my big push months. And I was like 23 or 24.
Yeah.
And I just got so prideful. I remember my heart is just like different, man. And I wasn't happy. I had anxiety at the time with that. My identity was more of the world. And, I was like just obsessed with like materialistic things. And it's crazy because I'm so far from that. My heart's so different.
Yeah.
But I had to be humbled.
Yeah.
So what happened was I lost leaders because who the hell wants to be around a person like that? I don't even blame these guys.
Yeah.
So they left. Some like big leaders took half my team. That's a really good way to humble yourself,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So now seeing that, I'm like, wake the hell up, David. Who are you being right now? This isn't being you. This isn't who you are.
Yeah.
You need to wake up. And that was a huge test. So what I did was I responded. Doesn't matter what happens in your life, you're going to screw up a lot. It's about how you respond to that and take ownership of that and own that. So I went through my humble phase now, and this is like where I remain because I understand that this is a gift that can be taken away. Leadership is a gift. Your people are a gift. And if you don't treat them right, if you don't treat people with respect, that will be taken away in a heartbeat. And I witnessed that at a young age.
Yeah.
So I went to work on relationships. I went to work on leading from the front. Ended like number 3 personal producer as an RGA that year. Wrote like close to President's Club for the year. I had my biggest month that month. Like my biggest month was like 46,000 for the month.
Yeah.
For me, that was huge back in the home days. Like that was good. That was a good month. Wasn't quite the 100, but that was amazing for me because I wasn't leading from the front and I mastered booking in the home. So I got back to who DC was, where he was okay with doing what others aren't and not caring what people think. I was getting vulnerable again in the home. And that's what took my business back to 2020, where we really we built some momentum because I started to attract different people. Only when you're fully in your authentic self are you going to attract that level of talent that you want.
Yeah.
It's not who the world wants you to be. It's not who this person wants you to be, but it's who you were created to be. And people love authenticity. I swear, like, good things will really come when you stay in a humble spot and you really move the way that you are supposed to move.
Yeah.
So that was probably my biggest lesson. Second one is getting like really almost like just betrayed. I had a guy leave me, and that was my roommate. Took him off the streets, helped him make 6 figures, gave him the keys to my G-Wagon, helped him stay at a place, moved him in. He couldn't get approved on a place, moved into my penthouse.
Yeah.
He was living there, helped him build his team. When he started going through some struggles with sales and learning new leads and didn't want to lead from the front, couldn't keep his word, what's the easiest way? Go quit, right?
Yeah.
Not only did he quit, but he bashed on me as a leader after doing all of that and taking not only his team, but like really tainting a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
This was at the end of 2020. And what I thought was really, really bad was also clearing out room for greatness. And then shortly after that, I had another agent join my business who blew it up. So even though that happened and that was supposed to destroy me, that was another test to really test the hearts of the men and the women that are in your circle.
Yeah.
Are they bought in with your vision? Are they really for you?
Yeah.
And be careful on who you share information with. Be careful who you just so let in, because I have a good heart. I feel like the enemy takes advantage. Also, people bless you because of that. So learned a lot of wisdom there. Didn't stop us from growing. We grew again. Boom. That next year we did over 5 million. That was our best year. didn't stop us, and was like loved the team because we had such a core foundation
Yeah.
from the year prior, that even though a big leader left, took a bunch of people, betrayed, slandered the name, we were like, I had people like backed me up. I had like brothers and sisters that were like, we'll stand by you.
Yeah.
And that felt good, and that was based on the humility from the year prior of like working back up. So ride or die for my team, man. Love them. And this is those are a couple of the biggest lessons and biggest failures that I've went through.
That's awesome. And, I mean, everybody says it. People might not be public about it, but everybody goes through big challenges in their business, maybe just in their life in general.
Yeah.
So it sounds like what you've done is you've really learned how to look at every single one of those challenges, maybe not right away, but you've learned how to reframe it to an opportunity for yourself. We see so many people out there who are kind of blocking their blessings because they fold when that person quits on them, or when they get held up at gunpoint, or when they're something implodes in their relationship or something like that. So what advice do you have to people that are going through that kind of adversity in their business or in their life?
I would say take it as an opportunity. Like I'm saying before, it is really how you see it, because it could either be the death of you if you see it that way. And if you see it through the eyes of, it's going to be amazing for you because there's something that God's trying to teach you in the season. Yeah. There's something that needs to be corrected, and this is the best way to do it. And I got to know that. So what can I learn from this? How is this making me better? What can I do to improve on this? Because it's not going to be that way always. So that's like the best way to view it. And the next way is like take it as an opportunity to grow through it. Right? You'll get to another level based on the giants that you can handle. Like the bigger adversity, the bigger problems you can personally handle determines the amount of income and impact in your testimony is going to be greater to help other people through it. So instead of like thinking about yourself, focus on other people and continue to improve yourself, and just know that there is no destination, Joe. This is life. Until we're dead, that's the destination.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on.
It's not too motivating.
It's not too motivating. We're not going to. So might as well, like, who cares? Like, while I'm here, like, I'm not going to let this thing. I believe you're either overcoming or being overcame. Yeah. And I'm just up for it. Like, whatever is going to come. Like, let's just keep climbing. Let's keep getting better. Let's keep focusing on growth.
Yeah.
And let me keep learning from these things.
Well, I can relate to that a ton. We know our stories are somewhat similar, but one thing I've thought about before, and I wanted to get your opinion on, is so you had the instant burst of success, then you got humbled, you learned how to stay humble. So we're both climbing to the top again.
Yeah.
So when you get back to that point where you're maybe broke through to a whole new level of success that we've never even had, when we're doing 2-3 times what we're doing now, how do you plan to, I guess, still keep yourself humble at that point?
It's really good. Well, now I focus not on the money, because it's like, what's the difference between 100,000 a month and 200, or 300,000 a month to 400? Like, let's be honest. Like, for me, my heart's different.
Yeah.
So I'm like, more now I can just like give more. I can do more. Like for me, I have purpose in what I do based on helping other people continue to win. So if it was all about a certain income for me, then yeah, it's a pretty like, I can see myself getting prideful. But my goal is really, if it's about making money, it's about what I'm going to be doing with the money for other people. Like, it's funny, like none of my goals like really that I get even excited about are any for myself. Like I get way more motivated to help like Daniel go partner, Jesse go partner. I get motivated by like helping this guy hit his first 6 figures, seeing this guy make his first sale. Like my being and like the way I live, I get the fulfillment and joy and pleasure most in that. Because the money it's just a byproduct of that. And that's great. I love it. But it's just a tool for me.
Yeah.
So I don't view it that way. And I think understanding that you're nothing without your people. You're nothing without God, in my opinion. You're nothing without your leaders. That it's a gift. And I'm like someone that I feel like God can flow through or like be a vessel to do good. and I don't want to disrupt that.
Yeah.
I don't want to screw that up.
Yeah.
Keep choosing me, right?
Sure.
That's like my mindset behind it. So like, wow, I'm honored to be like this person, to like be in this position, but let me continue to do good. Let me continue to do the things that really fulfill me.
Yeah.
And let me continue to chase my purpose.
I love that, man. That's awesome. Well, as a busy entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I know you're putting in serious busy weeks right now. Plus you're balancing, life and relationships and family and all that stuff. So what are some of the things that you do just to keep yourself sharp mentally? What do some of your habits look like?
Love that. Amazing question. I believe in mind, body, spirit. I wake up, train in the mornings about 6:30 a.m. So I'm up by 5. I do this thing called like wake the sun up. And then I do, as soon as I wake up, I read my word. So I do spirit prayer, like meditation, get in a real still, grateful state of being.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go write my goals down. I focus on my purpose, what I'm creating, and I say it out loud. And I'm really focused on like what I want. Like I really know it. It's really clear to me. Then I go into personal development. It's either an audio or I'll go read part of my book. Then I'll go work on my body. Boom, I'm going to the gym. I'm training hard, keeping my heart rate up, getting my butt kicked. Don't feel sorry for me because I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And then I go usually hit meetings, and I'll go do intermittent fasting till like 2:00 Eastern. And then I'll have a meal. I have a chef that cooks healthy meals. So I try to really like fuel the tank properly.
Yeah.
And all that really, really helps to have optimal energy throughout my day. I think for me, that works really well.
Yeah. And, I get the same questions all the time. People are like, well, I'm a single mom, or I'm a single dad, or I'm a parent and I've got too much. I don't have time to be going to the gym 5 days a week, or I don't have time to be praying and meditating every single morning and all of that stuff. So how do you consistently prioritize those things in your schedule? Because you got a million other things you could be spending time with. Sleep is the first one. Maybe sleeping until 8 a.m. But why do you consistently keep making it a priority?
Order.
Yeah.
Prioritization. You got, just like business, Joe, you understand. There's the 6 key areas of the business, and in order, right? So I believe in order, and I believe things flow properly when they're in order. And my order, it goes God, it goes me, and then it goes family. Now some of you are like, well, why? And then it goes business. Well, why me, right? Well, because I know that if my cup isn't full, how am I supposed to pour into others?
Yeah.
If I don't take care of my mental health, if I don't take care of my spiritual health, if I don't take care of my body, I know that they're getting a 50% David. And I have a responsibility day in, day out to give my people the best version of me, as you know. And I am obligated and driven to be the best version of me and continue to be better, to be leading my people to the promised land that I promised them the second they joined AO with me.
Yeah. And it's weird how you feel it differently when you're doing that and you keep filling up your cup.
Yeah.
You almost wonder, like, how did you ever do it without doing that? Like, I had...
It's not very good.
My wife asked me the other day, she was like, are you going to still keep, like, going to the gym and training martial arts and that stuff when we have the baby?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to.
Yes.
Like, if I stopped eating right and stopped training and all of that, I would literally turn into a different person at that point, and I wouldn't feel capable of being the right husband and the right dad, because it becomes part of who you are and how you operate. So
completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
So you're doing cardio, you do, like, I've seen you do running, right?
Yeah.
Like you're doing like sprints and
Sprints,
damn, that's rough.
In the heat, but we go early.
Yeah.
But it increases your testosterone levels, and it's like midweek. So we'll do like legs, like, it's all mixed in, and then it's like, okay, upper body more.
Yeah.
And then it goes, break is your sprints in like, it's a couple miles, and then sprints.
Yeah.
but I've just noticed huge results, like my health, my energy, and like
Nice.
pushing yourself past. I'm sure you'd feel this way.
Yeah.
You go do things you don't want to do and you hate it and you just show up and you put yourself through it.
Yes.
You're like, wow, this correlates to every area of my life. Let me just keep doing this.
Totally, because people think you enjoy your workouts all the time, and you're some sort of weird workout freak. But no, it's like probably 2/3 of the time,
Yes.
it doesn't feel great. It's just something about that decision of continuing to do the hard things.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll see that show up in business. That like
Yes.
next time a hard thing comes up, it's like, yeah, I got it. I'm ready for that.
Yes.
So
completely.
that's awesome. Well, I mean, for you, aside from fitness and aside from, the spiritual stuff that you're doing in the morning for
Yes.
yourself, what are some other habits like at night that you feel like help contribute to your success?
At night, I would say I go hard all the way till like I get everything done, by the way. I'm the type of person, just like you, were trained to like handle everything. Like if something can get done now, you need to tack it, especially the main things. But at night, I mean, it's eating clean. It's like winding down, doing something. I don't usually like even sit there watching a movie unless it's like the weekends till I fall asleep because I know I'll stay up later.
Yeah.
I'm very habitual and routine based. So it's like TV off, put the phone down, or like I'll talk to, my girl at the time, like my girl, have a conversation with her, and I'll be like in bed, like usually 30 minutes before I'm trying to like even fall asleep, and keep my phone far away. As soon as I put it down, usually have like read, maybe just kind of get myself still and like getting prepped to be able to just fall asleep. But it's the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
So again, it's like routine. Same thing with my morning. It's like boom, boom. I don't even think about it. It's habitual.
Yeah, so you don't have to plan, and people don't realize how much brain space they waste on all that if they're not in a routine.
Yeah.
They have to sit here and be like, oh, what are we going to have for lunch? Let's look at all of the options, and like, waste like 2 hours on a whole lunch mission and stuff, when for you it's like, yep, I'm going to eat healthy. My chef's going to cook it. I'm ready to rock. Boom.
Yep.
Done.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I know for you in the business, your goal is always to impact as many people as possible. But do you have anything special coming up in business that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Vatican together, right? So that's gonna be amazing. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to Iceland. Looking forward to all the Europe trips that we're gonna be taking with just the most amazing people in the world.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll write a book. Eventually, I'll go speak on stage. But my purpose and calling and where we're having the most impact right now is AEO, and we're going to continue to rock it and change lives. So I have nothing else that I'm focused on because I want to give this everything I got.
Have as much impact as possible. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, dude, if people want to get in touch with you, I know from when we barely knew each other, I knew you were always super willing to help and willing to share ideas. So if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Best way to get in touch with me is Instagram. So David E. Carpenter, add me. And love to connect, especially if you're an AO. Shoot me a message. I'll add you and let's grow.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for everything you shared, David. I know people are going to get a ton of value from this. So thanks again for coming out, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
All right.